Hey guys, it's Jonah with Range Road, and today we're going to be assembling a 608 trailer right out of the crate. So we'll go ahead, remove the cardboard, we'll start taking stuff out of here, and we'll start the assembly process. Okay, so we've got everything unpacked from our crate here. We've got our main frame right here, which we've now flipped over so the axle tabs are facing upwards. And then the next step is we're going to install the axles right here, and they're going to be right in this cavity here, and we're going to install them with this big pin and this locking bolt. So now that we have our axles installed and our axle pins greased, next step is to throw on the wheels and tires. Okay, so now we've got our tires on and we flip the trailer back over, and then we put a little support under the front of the frame here so that this frame bar will slide in much easier now. And with this frame bar, it's got two holes on the one end, none on this end. So you want the two holes to be facing the front, and furthermore, you want, these are the small holes, these are the big holes, you want the big holes facing upwards. And then this whole unit just slides right in here like this. And then we go ahead and lock that in with some bolts here in the next step. And we'll just slide this on. So we're going to leave the tongue jack and this box are going to be loose for now because we may need to move them on the tongue as we start installing the rest of the pieces. Okay, these are the bolts that install the swivel hitch into the tongue here. And as you can see, there's a special collar here that fits perfectly in this hole. So that's why you have to have this large hole facing upwards and not downwards. You'll see that just fits perfectly in there. And then you just put the nuts on the bottom and tighten it up. Okay, so now the cylinder, it'll be installed right here with this fitting facing the right side of the trailer. And then we'll go ahead and take our two brackets here and we'll just set them over the ears. And then there's going to be 4 bolts we're going to use to mount this into place that will allow it to rock back and forth still. Okay, so I'm just installing the hose on the fitting on the pumper and reservoir here. And it's much easier to install the hose when the reservoir is loose in here. So just take note of that, set the reservoir in here, do up the hose, then bolt in the reservoir to the box. Okay, one thing I wanted to touch on is with this solenoid assembly, all these wires here, from the factory, all these nuts holding everything on will be loose. So go over every single nut and bolt here and make sure you tighten them up properly. Do not over tighten things here because plastic can easily be broken from over tightened nuts. Okay, now we have the deck in place. So now we can set this distance on the box away from the deck, and what I've got here looks to be about perfect. So we'll go ahead, tighten the bolts down here to lock this box into place on the tongue. And we've got our box now locked in place, and we're just going to lock in our tongue jack right now by tightening the bolt. Okay, now that we have our battery installed in our box here, we can go ahead and start putting on the sides and front and rear of the trailer. So we'll start with the front piece. That's this cage piece right here, and you'll want this side facing forward. It's flat and smooth on this side, and you want that towards the trailer deck. So you just set it on here, and you'll see the bolt holes in the front piece here will line up with bolt holes in the trailer deck. And then there's just 3 bolts here you use to mount it, and then we'll move on to the next step.